If you've been following for a while now, you know how much I love talking about personal finance, and no matter how much we earn, there will always be things that we want to buy. But if we don't keep track of our finances, we'll never be able to save up for something bigger. Hi, I'm MoneyBuilt. Welcome to the channel, where today we all talk about 3 apps that help me budget. Even when I was only earning $20K per month. But before we get to those 3 apps, let's talk about why they matter. The whole point of budgeting is to help you gain clarity, not restriction. So the goal is to make it easy so you can still enjoy life, but in a smarter way. These 3 apps are super helpful in doing just that because they helped me do 3 things. No. Track every peso. No. 2. Set financial goals. And number 3. Stop impulse spending. Best of all, they're free and super beginner friendly. So let's get into the list. App No. 1. MoneyBuilt is my go-to daily tracker. Even though I use other apps to visualize my overall financial health, I still go back to MoneyBuilt every day because of its simplicity. Its interface is clean and straightforward. What you'll basically do is manually log in every expense that you have with its corresponding category. It could be food, transportation, entertainment, or anything else you want to track. The good thing about MoneyBuilt is that you can set custom categories. So when you're done inputting the amount, you can instantly see how much you spent on that category. This helps me limit my spending in certain categories. For example, I usually limit my daily coffee budget to 100 pesos. Now I'm able to easily monitor if I'm already close to hitting that limit. If I am, then I skip buying coffee to save more. That's why I said it's simple yet powerful. With such an easy-to-use interface, it allows me to constantly track where my money is going. Best of all, it's available on both iOS and Android. However, the downside is that since it's manual, you really need to enter every single expense. Now this may seem time-consuming, but I promise it only takes 10 seconds after every purchase. Trust me, once you get the hang of it, it becomes second nature, and the insight that it gives you is priceless. So who is it best for? People who want full control over their spending and have limited technical knowledge. When it comes to managing finances, app No. 2. Wallet by Budget Bakers is one of the most popular budgeting apps in the Philippines because it allows you to track your income and expenses while setting budgets per category. But what I like the most about Wallet is its visual graphs. After linking your bank accounts, it automatically categorizes your transactions, making it easier for you to analyze where most of your money goes. Let's say food and entertainment. Then you can choose to lower that percentage by setting a budget for these categories. Since it's automatic, it saves a lot of time and effort. If you're like me, who prefers cash, you can manually input your expenses. Another feature I like is the shared wallet for couples or roommates. This feature allows you to see each other's expenses so you can have more transparency. I currently use it with my wife, and it lets us see how much we re-spending on food versus bills each month. And as for who it's best for, it's for people who are goal-oriented and want to see patterns in their spending habits. App No. 3. When I first heard about MoneyBuilt, I was hesitant to try it out because I thought it was only for but I was wrong. As it turns out, it's also great for freelancers, self-employed, and even entrepreneurs. It does more than just budgeting and expense tracking. You can actually pay your bills, government contributions like SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and even set reminders for your due dates. I honestly find it convenient to have everything in one app. Another feature I like is that it lets you categorize your expenses and shows you a summary of your income and expenses at the end of the month. It's a great way to reflect on your spending habits and see where you can improve. So who is it best for? Filipinos who are self-employed, freelancers, OFWs, and entrepreneurs. Before we wrap this up, I want to give you a bonus app, and that is the Manual Tracker. While I highly recommend using the apps I mentioned earlier, I still suggest using a manual tracker, like Google Sheets or Excel. I've used both, and they're great. My wife and I personally use an app called Spendi, but if you want a more customizable option, you can use Google Sheets or Excel. Plus, it's free forever. You can even download our free budgeting template, which is based on the 50-30-20 rule. We also included a finance starter pack, which includes a debt payoff tracker, savings tracker, and a net worth calculator. All of these can be downloaded via the link below. Now, if you're worried about using these apps because you think they require a lot of technical knowledge, don't worry. They're very easy to use, and anyone can learn them in a few minutes. What matters most is your commitment to using them. Once you get the hang of it, it makes tracking your finances so much easier. And that's the whole point of budgeting. A few years ago, when I was still earning less than 20K a month, it was tough to save up. I couldn't see where my money was going because I didn't track my expenses. I tried budgeting using notebooks and spreadsheets, but I found it too tedious. But everything changed when I discovered these apps. They helped me regain control of my finances. With that said, let's move on to the last part of this video. To wrap things up, the main takeaway I want you to remember is that budgeting doesn't need to be complicated. Start with one app and build a habit. Personally, I use MoneyBuilt and Wallet. The moment I started tracking every peso, I finally felt in control of my finances, and I knew exactly where I needed to improve. I was able to spot unnecessary expenses and areas where I could cut back without feeling like I was depriving myself. Through this process, I learned to appreciate the value of money and make more informed financial decisions. Remember, it's not about restricting yourself, it's about clarity and control. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. Don't forget to download our free budgeting templates via the link below. And you can also follow MoneyBuilt PH on social media for more finance tips and tricks. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.